Such a soy boy, dude.
Rogan experience.
Yeah, well, that's a good move because people are tired of Trump jokes. You know, that's one of those subjects that people are like, enough already.
Man, I've been tired of them, and now I'm like,
they're coming back around.
For them to come, to be frustrated when a dude is on his way out. You know, it doesn't make no sense. It's like he is still getting to you. You know, it's just a matter of time. If you want to say the voice of the peoples was heard, it was a close situation, but it is what it is, and he's gone. Why are you still mad?
People have some legitimate gripes, and I understand where they're coming from. But my perspective is it's not changing anything, and it's not doing you any good to still be holding on. If you are anti-Trump, Biden's. I mean, I don't think it's 99% official, right? I mean, they just haven't said it yet, and when they say it, then he will become president, and then Kamala Harris will be the new vice president. So concentrate on good things now. It's over.
Right.
But people are so obsessed.
I heard them fuckers the other day. I might have said this earlier. Look at Mike Pence and them having a meeting with no mask. Man, okay. Why you still keep getting mad because this motherfucker don't have a mask on? It's got to be something else to talk about, son.
But they want to talk about negative things. That's the thing. Some people get addicted to talking about negative things, and they can't regroup even after a victory and now focus on positive things. They want to continue to focus on negative things. And I can see their perspective too, especially with all these crazy tweets like, I won that election, you know, it's all fraud, it's all this, it's all that. Like, man, if you've got some real claims, and I don't know what the claims are, I haven't really honestly investigated them, but if you've got some real claims, you got to present the evidence, and then once you present the evidence, you say all the stuff like, I got robbed, I really won it. If you want,
you can't be honest. Like you can't honestly be saying this, right? Like, did I misunderstand? Did he say that Democrats are being sore losers when Republicans are like literally refusing to concede the election? I misunderstood what he was saying. Yeah, I think I misunderstood. Hold on, I got to run that back.
Gripes, and I understand where they're coming from. But my perspective is it's not changing anything.
Or Democrats are being sore winners. Sorry. Is he saying Democrats are being sore winners when Republicans aren't even like...
thing, and it's not doing you any good to still
not sore losers. Sorry, I said that wrong. I didn't misunderstand it then. He is literally saying Democrats are being kind of sore winners.
Be holding on. If you are anti-Trump, Biden's. I mean, I don't think it's 99% official, right? I mean, they just haven't said it yet, and when they say it, then he will become president, and then Kamala Harris will be the new vice president. So concentrate on good things now. It's over.
Right.
But people are so obsessed.
I heard them fuckers the other day. I might have said this earlier. Look at Mike Pence and them having a meeting with no mask. Man, okay. Why you still keep getting mad because this motherfucker don't have a mask on? It's got to be something else to talk about, son.
But they want to talk about negative things. That's the thing. Some people get addicted to talking about negative things, and they can't regroup even after a victory and now focus on positive things. They want to continue to focus on negative things. And
I think he was like giving a little bit off to the Democrats too. Like he's saying that like Democrats are still focusing on the negative things. I think, but he's also correctly saying like you need to have evidence for electoral fraud. You can't just fucking come out with it. It's whatever.
I can see their perspective too, especially with all these crazy tweets like, I won that election, you know, it's all fraud, it's all this, it's all that. Like, man, if you've got some real claims, and I don't know what the claims are, I haven't really honestly investigated them, but if you've got some real claims, you got to present the evidence, and then once you present the evidence, you say all the stuff like, I got robbed, I really won it. If you want to be in a position where you're respected,
right?
If you're the president of the United States, this isn't a regular guy. It's not like if you were involved in some ridiculous, like, small neighborhood election and you were joking around on Twitter, I won that fucking election.
Right.
That's to be expected. But when someone's in a position where they're in charge of the nuclear football, they literally are the commander-in-chief of the greatest army the world's ever known.
Firing motherfuckers.
And you're saying,
okay, I love that. No, this is great. Someone like Brogan, someone like Joseph Brogan hitting this is key. Like him saying this is huge because what do I always say? The reason why I love watching Rogan is because he is a guy's guy, you know, a dude's dude. It's International Men's Day. We got to celebrate it. And there's nothing better to do than listening to the fucking ultimate bro. He's the bro whisperer. He is more tapped into what like average hot couch guys think in the Midwest than any number of different videos that you can watch or MSNBC. So this is good that like even the bro dudes are like, yeah, okay, like this shit's crazy. Come on.
And shit like that, and firing people that don't agree with
Yo,
it.
fire motherfuckers that like. I know these other places like, boy, this would be a great time for a fucking terrorist attack right now.
Well, one of the guys he fired, what the guy said was he didn't believe there was widespread voter fraud. He's like, you're fired. If you don't believe that, you're fired. Like this is like a madman.
The interesting part for me is like you trying to switch the thoughts of a person that is a huge Trump fan is a waste of time. The only thing you're gonna be is frustrated.
See, here's the thing though. I don't know, and this is where it's really important. Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly how the election went down in terms of like, was there like 0.01% fraud? Was there 0.5% fraud? How much fraud was there? We gotta assume that when there's people counting stuff, there's some fuckery going on.
Yeah, but the fuckery that's been reported, it's been like still no more than like 40 people, bro.
And then the only other problem is that it's all done through these machines, right? And then there's been all these conspiracy theories about machines that were supposed to have been giving the votes to Trump, gave those votes to Biden. Now, I could repeat those things, but I don't know if they're true.
But what I do know is...
You know what I'm saying?
I do know this, but I know Georgia, I know them motherfuckers pulled all them envelopes up to the building, and they cut them open, and they took them hand by hand.
They did them hand by hand.
Yo, those ones that were recounts or whatever... Those, you can't, it's no machine there. It's hand by hand.
I know he looks similar, but that is not Dave Chappelle. Did you think I thought this was Dave Chappelle? This is the episode which features Dave Chappelle.
Right.
It's fucking probably.
And how does that work? Does someone watch
I
while
assume
they do
he's
it?
not here
like,
yet.
Do they have a supervisor? Because I would imagine you would want to have like almost like two people watch while one person does it, which is so ridiculous. But it seems like you kind of, if you don't trust people.
I know, if you don't trust people.
You kind of have to have someone watching it. That's part of the argument that Trump's administration was saying too, was that there were certain counts that they weren't allowed to observe. They had to be really far away and they couldn't actually see. Listen,
that sounds like people that like soybeans, son.
But
that's a
Listen, man. This is the episode which features Dave Chappelle, but he's not in yet. Okay, in this one, I didn't know that. I don't know that this clip did not feature Dave Chappelle. I'm not a future teller. Chill the fuck out.
That's a very soy boy attitude.
But what if they're telling the truth? Here's the thing. I don't know, and you don't know either. So if they were telling the truth and people were counting votes incorrectly, or
they find no evidence of that. Every time that
I don't think they have either.
Every time that they came out with all these losses and they're dropping them because there's no evidence of it. He's probably made, he's had to have made every argument he can make.
No, listen, I agree with you. There's no evidence that they can present that's going to show people right now that there was so much voter fraud that they got to return everything and start all over, or they got to give it to Trump. Like, I agree with you. I think this is what all these experts are saying. They're all saying that even if there was voter fraud, it wasn't enough to tilt the election one way or another. But I don't know how these machines work. So if I'm even commenting on it, if I'm saying they couldn't have done it, that's ridiculous. If I'm saying they must have done it, that's just as ridiculous. I really don't know. That's like, when you're talking about voting.
Bro, come on, bro. There is no fucking, oh God, there is no centrism here. Like, you can look at, you already mentioned how ridiculous it is because of how little voter fraud happens when you said it's a fraction of a percentage. Like, it's not significant. What the fuck? That's it. There's no both sidesing this shit, dude. Oh my God. These people will both sides like Nazism if it comes to that. I swear to God. Luckily, we're not there. Hopefully, we'll never get there, but I would not be surprised if fucking perpetual centrists would be like, oh, well, I don't know. I mean, why can't we just execute 50% of the non-white population? That's a good concession, I think. Both sides have some good ideas. We've got to listen to both of them.
You're talking about how many millions of people are voting.
Then why were the Democrats screaming that for 4 years? Come on, man, you're just justifying because your side won, in air quotes. Man, what the fuck are you talking about? One, I was a person who was extremely critical of the Russiagate hysteria. Two, there's infinitely more evidence to foreign interference, or at least attempts at foreign interference, than there are with fucking voter fraud as a whole, which is a common lie told by Republicans that literally never pans out, as it's not panning out this time around either. And three, Hillary Clinton conceded immediately the night after. As soon as the election, Donald Trump won the election, Hillary Clinton conceded. Obama brought Donald Trump into the fucking White House. There is no your side, my side in this circumstance, you fucking moron. The fuck do you mean? There's no both sides in this situation. There's no both sidesing like flat earth. Okay? Stop thinking that your fucking idiotic point of view deserves any sort of fucking seriousness. This pathetic little actual snowflake mentality of well, just because it's a thought I thought of, that means you have to take it seriously. No, the fuck we don't. You can't just make some shit up and be like, well, you have to take it seriously now because it's a very special thought I thought of with my own very special personal brain. No, you don't get that. It doesn't work that way. What exactly wasn't substantial about Russiagate? The Republican Party is a party of fucking demons, okay? Attributing any of the evil that the Republican Party has done to American society, disrupting the American moral fabric, very successfully, dismantling congressional power and hyper-focusing on court packing, any number of those things, attributing any of that to, interference by Vladimir Putin, saying that Donald Trump is Vladimir Putin's puppy or puppet, is so idiotic. It is, once again, Democrats looking for a reason as to why someone like Hillary Clinton lost, because they can't come to terms with the fact that Hillary Clinton was just so historically and notoriously unlikable that she, despite being way more qualified to be president, lost to a fucking narcissistic man-child reality TV star. It's not like Vladimir Putin was like, don't go to Wisconsin. Okay? No, that was Robbie Mook. That's my fucking anger. Oh man, well, Russia bought $3 million worth of targeted ads on Facebook. Oh, okay. Sorry, I guess that was it then. So what? What if the fucking Trump campaign did that? And they did. They could have done it. And they did.
And all this information is coming in and they got to sort it out. You're gonna have some mistakes. There's no way around it. But the question is, does it overall...
That was a hysteria, though. They had good evidence. It's hysterical to fucking get mad at Donald Trump because Donald Trump, after fucking saber rattling with Kim Jong-un, decided to honor the peace agreement that the South Korean leadership put together with Kim Jong-un and de-escalate military activity in that region. And then Rachel Maddow going on television that night and saying, this is what Vladimir Putin wants. That's hysterical as fuck. As a liberal, you're supposed to take an anti-imperialist stance, okay? As a leftist, or as someone who's functionally on the side of the left, you're supposed to not say, oh no, we need to keep having military activity in that region when the South Koreans don't want that to happen, to honor the terms of a fucking peace agreement. And that is hysterical as fuck. That shit sucks. When I hear liberals literally fucking arguing for more imperialism or arguing for more military action in that region, when the regional leaders do not want that to occur, That's psychotic. Attributing that to fucking Vladimir Putin's interest is psychotic. Vladimir Putin didn't make America get fucking tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations. Republicans did. Stop looking at different reasons, okay? Stop pointing the finger at complete nonsensical bullshit. Trump is legitimately a Russian asset, but MSNBC making that the reason he beat the worst candidate of all time is laughable. I don't even think he's legitimately a Russian asset. Your mouth is a bullshit machine gun.
Balance out, or are the mistakes all for one side? If you find out the mistakes are all for Biden, then you're gonna go, huh, really? Well, who owns the company that makes the machines? And then how are they financed? And who programmed that? And how are they programmed? Is it possible to fuck with the data? It is possible. Can you show me how to do it? You can do it. So saying anything about the vote, everybody wants to know exactly what happened. I think there's very few people that know exactly what happened.
I know the machines and all that type of shit, but when they take the machines away and they say, okay, we're counting these.
Do you seriously think the New York Times would shamefully put that at the end of their report? They didn't connect Trump and Russia at all? What do you mean? Of course the New York Times would go forward with the unsubstantiated shit. 100%. Without a fact, the New York Times would absolutely do that. Have you heard of the Iraq War? Like, what do you think? What do you think they did then? Like, they went with State Department propaganda, took it hook, line, and sinker, applied zero critical elements to it. Like, no, these newspapers are not your fucking friends. They're not on the side of progress. They are absolutely a function of defending capital interests. Okay, that's it. They still defend like what happened in Bolivia with their overall neutral language. Like, that doesn't mean that there aren't brilliant journalists in the New York Times. Of course there are. That doesn't mean you fucking stop reading the New York Times. Don't be stupid. But like, you have to recognize that every single media outlet, even if they are not a part of the State Department, will, in often circumstances when there is imperialist interest or when there is capitalist interest, will function for why they were created. Like, their job is to maintain the status quo. Their job is to eliminate some of the not eliminate, but their job is to make you feel like a lot of the cruelty that you experience on a daily basis from our current organization of the economy to look normal. Their job is to say, oh, no other system could fucking exist. Okay?
Hand by hand, the results of that have to be official.
Yeah, well, they definitely
like
should
that. I
be.
mean, I understand like the machines, but they was like, these mail-in motherfuckers was they had to fucking count every vote.
Yeah, it's a matter of how they're recording it, right? You would want to make sure that everybody recorded it accurately. I don't know how they do it, but I would imagine that when I was talking to a guy like Mike Baker, and who's saying that even if there was fraud, there's not enough fraud to overturn it. I would imagine he knows some things.
Yep.
I don't. I'm a moron. So me
I
talking about he won, we all do that. You know, we talk about he won, she won, and there's no way there was fraud, or it was definitely fraud, or I think Trump won by a landslide. Like, people get real connected. They get real connected to who's winning or losing this election, and I get it.
Man, I'm gonna miss Donald Trump, son. Yo, I like.
He's not going anywhere, man.
TV, man.
Okay, I can't believe we're gonna relitigate Russiagate right now. Briefly, there's two different Russiagates. There's one saying that Paul Manafort had some connections to Russian oligarchs, and that because Donald Trump literally said, Russia, go hack the DNC, and then they ended up doing it, and by way of WikiLeaks leaked the hacked DNC emails, and not necessarily the hacked RNC emails, which they also hacked. Like, did that favor Donald Trump? Of course it fucking did. Okay? There's two different Russiagates, though. That's the real Russiagate. The fake Russiagate is continuously claiming that, like, Donald Trump is operating at the behest of Vladimir Putin over and over and over and over again throughout the fucking first 4 years of his entire administration and his entire administrative run. And that part of the Russiagate is fucking hysterical and ridiculous. Okay? Sorry, that's just the goddamn truth. And ultimately, the real reason why Hillary Clinton lost is not because Russia was helping Donald Trump, but the real reason why Hillary Clinton lost is because she was dog shit as a candidate. Okay? Hillary Clinton was so dog shit as a candidate that a reaction to Hillary Clinton's nomination has perhaps for the first time in a very long time in the United States of America, even after all the McCarthyism, created a fucking left-wing movement. You understand? That's how much people fucking despise Hillary Clinton. Literally, because of Hillary Clinton, we have someone like Bernie Sanders come to the forefront of the conversation. You think he was going to be that fucking popular in the primaries if he wasn't going up against Hillary Clinton? Fuck no. I'm sorry. Rip the Band-Aid off or you know, get the wool out of your eyes if that's what you think. But Bernie Sanders was so incredibly successful with how little he had in 2016 directly as a consequence of how much people fucking hated Hillary Clinton. You can say Bernie bros all you want. Hillary Clinton is despised in this country. Some for good reason and some for fucking insane conspiracy reasons. But regardless, she was a horrible fucking candidate to run. I say this as someone who voted for her. Stop trying to say that it's like literally Russia is the reason why she fucking lost. That's silly bitch shit. Bernie was successful, lost to Biden and Hillary. Wow. I could not think of an even dumber take than this one, dude. Did you not hear the part where I said Bernie was so successful with what he had? Like with the limited resources and limited fucking media coverage he got in 2016 directly as a consequence? I said that Bernie, even though like the entirety of the establishment Democrats, as a consequence of those WikiLeaks, by the way, which legitimized those concerns that a lot of leftists had, straight the fuck up still built a robust leftist movement in this country, a country wrought with McCarthyism and the Red Scare still. Sorry, that's just the fucking truth. God, so fucking annoying. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. Fucking. Well, there you go. Even nurses working full-time in Omaha, Nebraska can be dumbass fucking liberals who are just straight the fuck up brain dead. Like, imagine thinking that Bernie Sanders wasn't fucking successful in like getting a country to awaken to a different future than the one that the neoliberal Democratic Party has destined for us. No, I'm not fucking over. My rant's not over. So many of you are further to the left than you ever thought you ever would be as a consequence of Bernie Sanders running against someone as unfavorable and as historically disliked like Hillary Clinton. If you like AOC, then thank Hillary Clinton, because Hillary Clinton is the reason why Bernie was able to get to the fucking forefront of the political conversation, which then also influenced a fuckload of people, including some of our favorite politicians, like AOC.
I miss him on TV. This motherfucker's TV persona is.
You know what sucks? What sucks that it's
his
even
TV persona is like he's a TV motherfucker.
It sucks that it's even possible that someone could monkey with in an election to the point where you change the outcome. It sucks that that's even a thought that we could get into our head. That's what's one of the crazy things about people. We're so nuts.
But that was
that if we believe in a side, like people that are good people will do some shady shit to have their candidate win.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's politics.
We're so crazy.
That's politics. Anything goes. Anything goes.
Yeah. So what bothers me, and I do think that Biden won the election, and I do think that, I mean, I think there's probably some shenanigans, but I think the result is most likely correct. But it bothers me that there's even a question. It bothers me that anyone would ever think that anyone could, but I think that there's Republicans that think Democrats could do it, and I think there's Democrats that think Republicans can do it. And I think
I just don't understand. Voter fraud is not fucking frequent. The reason why voter fraud is infrequent is because it would have to be a grand conspiracy to be able to pull it off. It's not only fraudulent, but you get clapped and you go to fucking jail, which is precisely why it's so infrequent and it's so marginal that numerous studies over countless fucking years has found that there is not enough conclusive voter fraud to change the outcome of a single fucking election. A fact that Joe Rogan even mentioned early on in the broadcast when he said it's like, what, 5,000 people or some shit like that. Okay? Now, having said that, the real problem is election fraud, or the real problem is voter suppression, okay? And that, just like everything else in American society, is done very legally or extra legally in front of our fucking eyes, okay? It is done in front of our eyeballs, like vote suppression, ID laws, closing down DMVs in black neighborhoods, polling stations being removed from black and brown neighborhoods or poor white neighborhoods. That's all that's not voter fraud, but that's systemic elections fraud, and they do it all the fucking time. Okay? Poll tax in Florida after felon voter restoration was democratically voted on. That's actual fucking fraud. But it's not fraud because it's technically legal. You understand? Gerrymandering is redistricting. It's not technically voter fraud, but it is another way to undermine the will of the people. Yes, to have a more favorable result out of your elections. But I mean, like, directly fucking suppressing people's ability to go out and vote. Voter suppression is the real problem in this country. You should really take a photo with that yellow button up you posted on the IG with the M249, but roll up your sleeves a bit. I can't. It was in Vegas a long time ago.
I think it's going to be real hard to 100% trust the election. That's one of the things that's kind of dangerous about someone going after it. This election is rigged. This election is rigged. When Trump is doing that, he's encouraging people. And, you know, maybe that's a good thing if they are rigged, because maybe they're going to be able to figure out how to stop that from happening in the future. Right. Or maybe it's going to erode people's confidence in the elections. And the more he does it, the more it erodes and the more it gets dangerous. There's a real argument for that too. But listen, again, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Episodes of